Welcome everyone. Today's topic is finding a median in a triangle. The first thing we're going to start with a sketch. I have a sketch on the left hand side. Question number 1 says find the equation of the line containing the median from W to HY. So W is right here to HY, which is going to be, here's HY, W to HY is this way. First, figure out what is definition of midpoint. Midpoint, W is going to be the vertex. And the midpoint is going to be on XY. So we are going to use midpoint formula. So what I did first step is I find the midpoint. Here's the midpoint formula using the points H and Y because they want W to H and Y. Those are the 2 points. I find the midpoint. Don't forget that's x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2. And when I simplify, I got 6, -3. So that's first step. And then I go ahead, plot it right there. Then what we're going to do is we are going to find the slope from the vertex down to the midpoint. And that will be your median because that cuts those two into 2 equal parts. So in this case, I need to find the slope of that line. So second step I did is I found the slope using the W to the midpoint right here. And that's what I wrote. You find the slope first, y1 minus y2 over x1 minus x2. And that's 3 over -6 and reduces -1 over 2. Then the third step is going to be writing the equation. And to write this equation, you are going to need a point, which is any point on the line of median. So I can use 0, 0, or I can use 6 comma -3. So I'm going to use 0, 0, and my slope is going to equal to -1 over 2. Now to write that, it's going to be y minus 0, point slope form, Point slope form is going to be y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And don't forget, this is a point slope form. And that's going to be y minus 0 equals -1 over 2 times x minus 0. And that's going to be y equals -1 over 2 because when you distribute, they are canceled out. So that's going to be -1 over 2x. That will be your first equation, y equals -1 over 2x. And that's how you find the equation for the median. Hi everyone. Right now we're going to talk about the altitude. I sketched the pictures and the question wants us to find the equation of the altitude from H to WY. And WY is located right here. This is one, WY. And then, so in this case, altitude is going to be 90 degrees perpendicular and from the vertex. So if we are looking at WY, which is right here, first thing we need to do is we need to find out what is my slope and then flip it, which is perpendicular. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's talk about what we did. I find the slope first using Y and W. And there's the slope, 9 over -2. It could also be -9 over 2. But because it's a negative, perpendicular slope is opposite reciprocal, so the negative sign is gone, and I flipped the slope over. So the step number 3 is because now I have the slope from here, maybe in perpendicular this way, then I'm going to connect it to the point right here. So therefore, the point I'm going to be using to write the equation is h equals -8 and 3. And the slope is going to be 2 over 9, which is right here. And using point slope form, here's the equation. And then you have to plug in all the parts and fractions right here. is 16 over 9 plus 3. You can use that in the calculator. And that is going to be the altitude, which is the 90 degrees drop from the vertex. Third type of equation we are going to write perpendicular bisectors. And perpendicular means a perpendicular right here, 90 degrees, opposite reciprocal slope, and bisector is the midpoint. So there will be involving midpoint and slope. So first, I got a sketch here, so I want you guys to take a look at it. And what they want you to do is they want you to create a 90 degree and cut the lines in half. And to do that properly, you don't necessarily have to go through midpoint. The vertex. So if I have midpoints right here, and that's 90 degrees, and we can definitely cut the line down this way and make that 90. And you can totally see I do not have to go through the opposite sides vertex. So because doing that, we are going to find the slope of this line right here. And then we are going to find the midpoint of the line, which is where the pink is, right here. And then use that point right here to write the equation. So that's what we're going to do. So to find the midpoint, what we're going to do is use the midpoint formula. 2, 9, and 8, 3 is going to be the one that's going to be used because it's on this line. Midpoint right here. Midpoint formula. When you work it through, the answer is 5,6. Second step is we are going to find the slope of that midpoint. The line we are trying to flip, because we have to have the slope here before we can flip to the perpendicular. We don't have enough points on here at all, so therefore we got to use this and flip it over. So that's what I did. Slope of HY, so you can have slope from here to the midpoint, from Y to the midpoint, or using the whole thing YH. That's why I wrote down. There's the first way, there's the second way, there's the third way. Then when I find the slope is -1. Perpendicular slope of -1 is this one. It's going to be +1 right here. That's going to be +1. And I'll write it out. The slope for the green HY is going to be M equals -1. And the slope right here, that's just 1. Now, after that, what you're going to have is I got the slope, I got the point. I'm going to use the point slope form to write the equation. So for equation, the pink line is going to be using 5, 6, which is right here, the midpoint. And the slope, which is this one flipped over, slope will be right here. And you write the equation using point slope form. Turn it into slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept is you have the slope, which is in front of the x. Y-intercept is just -1. So that is going to be the equation for perpendicular bisector, and that's for number 1. Thank you so much for watching. I just covered the medium, the altitude, and the perpendicular bisector. The way they write, what is necessary to write the equation. Thank you so much for watching the video.